Stay ahead of the curve and get updates on the latest trends in politics, government, policies, education, economy, social development, amongst others.
We're happy to announce today that both the federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage.
Join
Ayodeji Ajishope
and
Adedamola Lafenwa
on from the Dailies every weekday from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Solutions 93.9 FM as they dive into the headlines with in-depth analysis and feedback from you on different stories from the national dailies. Start your day by gaining fresh perspectives, uncovering the story behind the story, and join the conversation. Because your voice matters. From the dailies, the conversation never stops.
In the year 1887, Lord Acton made this statement: "Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely." But I will be changing this, quote to this morning. Power intoxicates, but absolute power, I'm going to leave that space blank. Welcome to From the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM. Power is getting into the heads of some certain individuals. There is commotion in the party that we thought could bring liberation to the nation in the 2023 elections. Rivers is in a state of dilemma and confusion at the moment. We do say confusion because according to the words of some lawyers, this is the mother of all illegalities. Yet, a man sent to be a delegate, delegating power to other entities. But then, as much as we think or we feel that there is commotion, there is, it's not going well, Nigerians may as well have the liberty to smile this morning, because there is the enforcement, at least temporarily, on crude oil. What am I talking about? Well, you just need to stay tuned to the station. Don't change the dial, because this morning it's going to be a hot session between myself, Olorontola Favor. Let me take that again. Favor Olorontola on From the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM, and Comrade Ayodeji Ajishope, because we'll be diving deep and trying as much as possible to unravel some mysteries and make them clear to each and every one of us. It's a pleasure to have you again this beautiful morning, today, 10th of April 2025. Welcome on board. Good morning, comrade. A beautiful morning to you. It's a pleasure to have you join me again this morning.
Yes, a beautiful morning to you, my dear comrade sister. Good morning to our esteemed listeners and viewers, wherever they may be located this morning.
Okay. Well, let's first travel to Rivers State.
Straight to Rivers.
We need to go to Rivers. All right.
All right.
Let me make some statements from some lawyers from that end.
All right.
This is the mother of all illegalities. His power is illegally donated, and he doesn't have the power to donate another power to another entity. He is a delegate that cannot delegate. So his appointment or attempted appointment of local government administrators in Rivers State is illegal, unjustified, null, and void. As at this morning,
Beautiful language.
As at this morning, we have a lot of bastions going to the end of IBAS, the sole administrator appointed by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And these statements came from some lawyers at that end. And I took a critical look at it, and I was like, okay, do you really agree? Should we say this is true or not? Noting that it went against the court order restraining him from making this appointment.
Yes, the whole thing is quite interesting, my dear comrade sister. Delegating. Isn't that beautiful language?
A very nice language with a lot of meaning underneath.
But what result do we get? Even with all the beautiful language, a delegating. You see, Damola and I spoke some yesterday about this, and I said that I suspect a sinister motive. You understand? The man's mandate is supposed to be to restore law
and order.
And one of the first things he did was to go to inspect the State Assembly complex under construction. And for me, that is a curiosity. You understand? I mean, these are warring parties, the executive and the legislature. And they even hosted members of the National Assembly Caucus of Rivers State. But incidentally, information available says it was only the Wike faction that they hosted, that they excluded the supporters of Fubara. If they are actually the caucus of the Rivers representatives in the National Assembly, everybody should be involved. You understand? It is either the man is ignorant, it is either the man is demonstrating crass ignorance, or being willfully a tool in the hands of those the puppeteers, let me call them the puppeteers, is either exhibiting crass ignorance or simply a tool in the hands of the puppeteers. It's either, there's no neutrality here. I mean, and then another thing he did, he cancelled all procurement processes already in place. That is huge in governance. That is huge in governance and processes, because those processes were legally embarked upon. There's what they call it an GPC, Finance and General Purpose Committee. You understand? They arrive at this thing, not through whims and caprices. And they cancel that simply because they know the beneficiaries. Most of the beneficiaries of those processes are Fubara's men, and they will not want to continue to financially arm what is perceived to be opposition. And then he went ahead, in front of a court order, to appoint administrators, a delegating power. I don't get it. How did he arrive at the people he nominated now? You understand? How did he arrive at them?
Let us also not forget that when he was to come, even before the National Assembly and the House of Reps had already made a stamp on his appointment, he had already got into River State. So probably this has been something that has been under construction even before it was executed.
I like that language, construction. I like that language. That should be added to the political lexicon, political construction. I like that. I like that. Rather than manipulation, construction sounds more fiscal, you know. I like that. You know, and I ask, it is alleged, it is being alleged that the man actually met with Wike sometime, not, I don't want to put the time to it because, you know, it is alleged that he met with Wike less than 1 week ago. And there is a court order. There was a court order say that as the judiciary, okay, you have removed the executive branch, you understand? You have removed the legislative branch. A court gave an order, and you are disobeying that court order. Does it mean that the hands of the judiciary too have been taken out?
Well, it's not the first time a court order is being disobeyed in the country. This is a compilation of other events, and then we already see the result here.
So that means there is no what do you call it? The legislative hand, the executive branch, and then the judicial arm too. Does it mean they're out of it? That it is now a rule of the rulers? Somebody told me something like that. Do we have a rule of the rulers? You understand? Or a rule of the law? You know, some of these things are worrisome, and those who Nigerians with a stake, I do not know any Nigerian who is without a stake. Nigerians, like all of us, that we know we have a stake, we will not keep quiet. I mean, it is worrisome. But people, you see, people should be conscious of history. I'm really sorry for Ibas. It looks a pathetic sight. But, you know, those who chronicle history, they are putting all of this together and recording it. Let him continue.
Let him go. Wait, like you said, it might be a tool. Now, if he is a tool, let's analyze this statement. Ibas has commenced the dismantling process of the government institutions in the state.
The what?
He has commenced the dismantling process of the government institutions in the state. If Ibas is a tool, is this statement true or false?
Well, you see, I gave a graphic description. One of the first things he did was to cancel all processes. You know, I mean, processes as regards procurement. That is to neutralize these people, the Fubara people. You don't empower your adversary financially. That is one. Local government is the base of governance. Mm-hmm. That is what the people is. Who are the people that are now being employed into the local government? You understand? Mm-hmm. People will certainly, you know, give us information about them. I mean, that one is sure. People are going to give information about them because information is available. So these are the things that people should.
Now,
I wish to agree with you that it is dismantling.
It is dismantling.
SSG is gone. You saw the SSG the other day talking like a canary. You understand?
So now, if this is true, what's the fate of Fubara? Because he's just under suspension for 6 months. Is there a high likelihood that this man, the rightfully elected governor of Rivers State, is coming back to sit in 5 months' time? Let's just make it 5 months, because at least a month is gone.
Who says? Who says?
That he is not coming back.
Man coming back?
Who says he's coming back?
Who says he's not coming back?
With what we see here, is he coming back?
You never can tell. You never can tell. You never can tell.
So you're saying we should keep our fingers crossed. We cannot answer that question now until the next 5 months.
The first instance of 5 months.
Okay. Let's move away from that. Power is also intoxicating Abure. We had the hope of Labour Party being, the liberator, according to some people, against
Liberator?
yes, political tyrants. We
Right.
had Obi as the president. He was the voice of the youth. We saw what happened at the elections. Now Abure and Labour Party are in disarray. Oh my God, that's a very nice rhyme. Abure and Labour Party are in disarray. We now have three factions of Labour Party, with him saying he is the self-chair of Labour Party after he has been removed.
Well, was he removed? I think the Supreme Court said that his tenure has terminated.
He was still
Is that what the Supreme Court said?
at that point. He's no longer the chair. Why having different factions?
Well, the man is there is usually different interpretations of court judgments, So, the man is doing his own interpretation. And what do you call them? The OT and OB people, Nenadi Usman, they're doing their own interpretation of the same judgment. You understand? Did you hear me? Hello?
I did. I can hear you.
So they're doing their own interpretation. So as we speak, as we stand, there are three factions of
Labour Party.
Of Labour Party. That's what you told me this morning.
Yeah. According to the news that I read here, according to what I see here,
You say Labour Party is the liberator.
it was meant to be. According to the youth, that was what everybody hoped for.
They said that from their own perspective. You see, if you are a political watcher, if you watch carefully during the last presidential election, you would have noticed the configuration of Labour Party. Labour Party was in three parts.
Let me correct myself. It's not Abure, Apapa. Let me correct myself there. Apapa.
Now,
All right.
Labour Party was in three parts from day one. The original Labour Party, the original people that constituted Labour Party, that is Abure and Co. Then the Obedience, two. Then the Big Tent. You understand? The Big Tent is supposed to be like a rainbow coalition. Everybody else that is involved, you understand? That are not obedient, that are not Labour Party people, you understand? So that was why they call it the Big Tent, in order to accommodate everybody. And they never worked in one accord. Everybody was working in his interest. They were not working in any party's interest. They were working for and in the interest of Obi. Look, when Obi came to Oyo State, the gubernatorial candidate of that party told me that at Okomosho, Obi sent him out of his car, their gubernatorial candidate.
Wow.
So there was no alignment between the party and the candidate and the obedience and the Big Tent. There was no alignment. I make bold to say. Sometimes I wish that Obi won, and you will have been amazed at the kind of government Obi will have formed.
What kind of government would that be?
It will have totally excluded the party.
Okay.
You understand? The man will just have done whatever he wanted to do because he will have been elected. Now, be that as it may, the center can no longer hold. Everything is upside down, as they will say. Believe you me, that is the honest truth. That is the honest truth. I do not know. You see, the question now is, Obi, the Abure said not expired. Did he conduct an illegal convention? Because the conductor wanted to re-elect himself. Did he? But those who went to court, they said the court is not a Father Christmas. They went to court asking for certain relief. They did not include the re-election of Abure. So they got the relief that the deliberately and factfully requested for. So that is a problem now. The man says there's no vacuum. The people say your tenure has ended. What about in the Congress they held? Do you understand? These are the big questions. So, what next? Will they go to court to ask for, will they go to Supreme Court and start asking for interpretation, or what? So, we wait and see how they're going to sort this out.
Okay. Let's go to the people.
The
Like you said, the people's opinion. Now let's go to the interest of the people. There's this story on the newspaper that caught my attention, and it's about the Naira for crude deal. We have about 5 minutes to delve into this. I'd like us to talk on it briefly and what it actually does mean for Nigeria.
You see, there is the El Cabal in this country. And I can tell you, it is the marketers and their collaborators. Now, that is one side. Number two, they are commending, I've had people commending the government. Government has listened to the people. The government is a listening one. I find that ridiculous. There was a 6-month contract between an NPC and the private refinery operator.
Yes.
After 3 months, when you put a thing in place, you know it's going to expire in 6 months. So did you do any evaluation after 3 or 4 months? You understand? To see how it has worked, how effectively it has worked, what lapses, what needs to be done. I mean, you waited until the thing ended, expired, and then you are now saying the fake has ordered. Come on. I mean, did it go to sleep? You understand? Did it go to sleep? They cannot play games are going to sleep. So they're just playing games. So that people are the fake has ordered that it should continue. Did they know it was going to last 6 months? Did they know it was going to end in March? So they now look like they job the people in the interest of people. I mean, that's those are games. I call it games. Playing games with the people, the interest of the people. I don't think that is nice. I mean, you have a contract. You have a 6-month contract. You know the contract is going to end in 6 months. After the thing has lapsed and expired, or if a check has ordered. Come on. I mean, these are not serious people. These are certainly not serious people at all. They can do better than that. They're not saying, they are a listing government. Come on. I don't buy that.
Okay,
I don't buy that.
we've spoken about transparency. Let's look at the value for money on this.
Transparency.
Yes, I think you said something about it. We didn't really get the evaluations. We didn't really get things, but we saw during that December, January, pump price reduced a bit. But let's look at the value for money and.
On the value for money, our own light crude is $59 per barrel now in the spot market, 59.60. Now, why should we? And that's crude oil is the most critical component part of that determines the price of PMS. You can add the exchange rate, 1,620 something now this morning. There's no reason why we should be buying for more than 700 or 750. But the marketers who have imported, they knew where this was going to go, and they had to create. And they have collaborators inside NMPC. I have interacted, and delved into this issue because it became a serious matter since 2023. And I have sources within the system. It is the marketers and who have collaborators and vested interest in NMPC that are doing all of this. I was actually told that when the first time Dangote reduced PMS pump price, and the second time they felt blindsided and felt offended and thought said they were going to deal with him. That was why they said they did not try any attempt to renew the contract. And even beyond that, it is not everything that is given to him that is paying for in Naira. There is a lot going on behind the scenes. But at least, let's say we have this deal back now.
And it's going to favor Nigerians in a way because definitely.
Today is Wednesday.
Today's Thursday, 10th.
I think by Monday, the pump price of PMS should go down.
Should go down again. Okay.
Yeah.
With that said and done, let's say BYE's on the program this morning. What's going to be a pattern shot?
Yeah, nice riding with you. Even as you as we proceed.
Okay. It was a
Enjoy
pleasure.
yourself.
It was a pleasure riding with you as well. Thank you very much, sir,
Yeah.
for joining me.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah,
God
you
bless you.
too. Yes.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Like I made when I started the program earlier today, I said power does intoxicate, but absolute power, what is it going to do? But then, if you do have the power, how are you going to make use of it? Negative, positive, to change lives, or to make lives miserable for people that you have the power over, or the things that you have the power over? You need to check and check yourself good today and the rest of your life. Always be mindful of how you handle situations and how you handle people. Definitely, power does intoxicate, but don't let it get to the point where you inflict pains on those surrounding you. But that said and done, or that said, have yourself a wonderful day. My wish for you today is that everything that you do, attempt will go in your favor. My name is Favor Olorontola. Bye-bye.